Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. I am going to talk about truly one of my favorite cards in the tarot. We are at Death in the Major Arcana, and I'm really excited to do a deep dive on this card because, like I said, it's one of my favorites, and I think it is absolutely misunderstood. So I am excited to have the opportunity to talk about it with you and maybe change your mind on this card so that you see it through my eyes and as positive as it is. So we're going to do something a little bit different today because this is one of my favorites. I want to do a discussion with someone that has a great deal of experience with tarot and do a deep dive with her as well. So we are actually going to do a field trip for the new moon, or for the full moon, excuse me. And so I will be connecting with her there, and we will have another video that we'll add to this one just to broaden and strengthen the conversation. So we're really excited to do that. And I'm very, very excited about this card. This is a card that is ruled by Pluto. It is Scorpio water energy. And so we are dedicating this special presentation of the Death card to my favorite Scorpio, Sam. So Sam, I hope you enjoy. And everyone else, I hope that you like, share, and subscribe. So let's get into it because there's a lot to discuss on this card. It is, the Death card is really about major transformation and new beginnings, and it probably won't be easy. The Death card meaning is about, again, transformation, passage, change. There's some basic symbols of the card and then some very intricate symbols that we're going to talk about. So the basic symbol is the skeleton in armor. He shows his face fully, so he is very transparent with who he is, his image, but then he clothes himself in armor to, to hide some of his vulnerabilities. So he is trying to protect himself somewhat. In his left hand, he has a flag that is a five-petaled rose signifying the 5 levels of salvation and the 5 levels of grace. The skeleton's horse is stepping on a sword, symbolizing the death may be of a burden someone is carrying, not only physical death, but maybe addiction or burdens that can be broken as well, and a new beginning that way. So there are some other figures in the field that is pretty interesting, even though the focus is really between the skeleton and the child here in the field. The child's father over here appears to be dead. And the mother on this side is very rejecting. So the child is looking to death on the horse to bring him or her to the new beginning, to be found here in the background between the two pillars with the sun shining, implying balance and abundance. And to get to the new beginning is a steep cliff here, which, as we said before, that, symbolizes it won't be easy. It will take effort and courage to get there. But there's a ship here on the water that's moving toward that. So really implying there's an ever-present stream of those looking for the opportunity to try to get to this nirvana up here. There's also a bishop in the field, and he's in the stance of appearing to be in some type of a sacrifice or a prayer, but he is looking in the wrong direction. He's not connecting at all with death, so his efforts are not effective. So I think the main theme here on this card is for this transformation, for this passage to be beneficial, you must have childlike faith and trust. So very, very inspiring card. And if you get this card in the upright position in a tarot reading, it symbolizes transformation, making way for the new. Could mean loss, failure, illness, or death, and bad luck. That might all sound bad, but think of this as the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. You're in a time of transition, and it's best to embrace it, even if it's painful. And it might be, but everything good is worth working for, and you're ready. So if you get the death card in reverse in a tarot reading, it stands for immobility, slow changes, a narrow escape, cheating death. You're resisting change, and that's not good. You need to let go and move forward into a brighter future. So the death card in a love reading might mean that you are hanging on to a relationship that is no longer serving you. If you're single, it's time to let go of old habits that have held you back from love. If you're in a relationship, it's time to either reconsider it, or if you continue, to make some difficult changes to get the love you deserve. So this is a inspiring card, and I hope that this helps you to never look at this card with any type of intimidation or fear again. It's all good. So please like, share, and subscribe on that. I also wanted to share that I recently got the tarot cards from RuPaul's Drag Race, and they are a hoot. So I wanted to share for death, it's Sharon Needles. And if you're not familiar with Sharon Needles, she is the perfect queen for this card. A lot of influence from Halloween and kind of the, Elvira influence, etc. So she is fierce and the perfect queen for this death card. And I'll be including those from now on. The RuPaul Drag Race tarot is just a hoot. And I hope you enjoy it. And please share any experiences that you've had. I hope that you will enjoy the discussion that we'll have later, just to make sure that we flush out any details on this card, because it is fantastic. So I hope you enjoy the full moon, and that your energies are staying positive and transformative. So thank you so much, and we'll talk soon. I really appreciate the time you spent with me today to talk about the death card. And if you didn't quite get the gist, it is definitely one of my absolute favorites. And so we have something special tonight. We are actually for those of you who were lucky enough to join us for Candace and Emily's wedding, we're at the same park. It's up in Washington. And we're here for the full moon, but I'm lucky enough to have Emily here with me tonight, and she has a great deal of experience with the tarot. And I wanted just to have a discussion with her about the death card and get her perspective on how it's worked for her in readings, and her impressions of the interpretations that I posted earlier. So look forward to seeing you guys soon for that discussion. Thank you. Awesome. So glad that you're here to talk about my favorite card for my favorite nephew. So this deep dive is really dedicated to Sam, and he's just an amazing Scorpio, and I really I'm motivated to introduce this card in a new way that doesn't elicit people immediately thinking that it's some kind of a loss, abandonment, betrayal. It really is not meant to be that. It's meant to, help you to break those bad habits that may be holding you back, get out of relationships that are no longer serving you. You were always very encouraging and, had a lot of insights, good insights. So I have finished a video today and pretty much talking about the things we've talked about, like, how the baby, the child, is the only one that really sees the opportunity, for connection. The mother's is rejecting, the father appears dead, and the bishop is looking the wrong way. So it's really that childlike innocence that makes that connection and is unafraid. So I know that you've had a lot of readings and done a lot of readings.
Yes.
And, would just really love if there's something in there that you'd like to point out or make sure that people are aware of, and what's your instinctive interpretation of the card.
I just always appreciated that, like, you would find things on the card that I didn't even notice, and so just talking about like each person in it, it made a lot more sense of like how people really view the death card. And so at first, like, I would get the death card and I would be like, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? That was always my thought of like, what am I doing wrong? And instead it's like, when you start seeing it, like, I wish I knew the poem, but it was basically like, death asks why life, like, why does everyone love you and hate me? I don't know the answer, but because so much good comes from death, and like from death are basically one of the biggest things is when you get this card, you have a huge opportunity coming your way. You have a whole new life coming your way. And so like that's actually really exciting for people, and I wish more people saw it as an opportunity of like something that's not serving you can be put behind you. So it's really interesting, like when death and the devil come up together, because it's really saying like your bad habits, let's move them on. So
and your poor relationships, and it's not going to be easy. I mean, you see that landscape in the background. That's a sheer cliff.
Right, I know, yeah.
So to get to this nirvana up here, that balance between the two pillars, that's not an easy climb.
No.
It's not an easy hike. It is going to take courage. It is going to take determination. But this card is a wake-up call.
Right.
What you'll have if you make that effort.
And I like having the childlike perspective of children are excited for everything new, and so he's not afraid of death.
No, and I mentioned also there's a little ship in here that's kind of going toward that point, like a little little sail ship, which to me says people are taking this opportunity.
Right.
But obviously not as many as could.
Right.
Because it takes effort.
Yeah.
It's going to take courage. It's going to take effort. But the reward is tremendous. A new life, a new light.
Yeah.
So I really love the card. I hope that whoever listens to our conversation really starts to look at it differently, because it is, in my opinion, one of the most positive cards in the tarot, as far as, it's not the fool who's already has everything and is skipping off the side of a mountain.
Right.
It's an opportunity in your face.
The end of a cycle.
What are you going to do? How are you going to proceed from this point?
Yeah.
Because what's behind me is no longer available.
Right. Because, like, I was getting the death card a lot a couple months ago. Like, it came up in almost every reading. And so now that I'm in this new place, like, I've moved, I'm starting all this new stuff, it makes a lot of sense of, like, that it really did. It died off, and I have this whole new life, and it just feels so bright. So I love that.
Well, I love the card. I love you spending some time with me. The other thing that I have recently gotten is the RuPaul tarot. It is a hoot and a half. And Sharon Needles is the perfect queen for the death card. So I actually talked to my sister about it because she loves Halloween, loves like little witchy stuff. So it was, she is so drawn to like Elvira and other things. So I think she's perfect for that.
Oh, she's wearing her grand finale. This is the outfit she wore when she won. But yeah, Sharon was, I think, a really good choice for it because all of her looks were very new. Like, that was what was so exciting about her on the show, was she was bringing something new to the show that a lot of people were afraid of.
Yeah. And
she's like, oh, the creepier the better. We love it that way. And it wasn't, drag queens had not been seen like that yet. And I really feel like she came in and gave us a new side, like goth drag queens. Like, who knew? But
disruptor, essence of the death card. I think as we talk about, that would be the name I would use for death. Disruptor.
The disruptor.
It's very disrupt the status quo. It's time to move on to something better.
So what does it mean when it's reversed?
When it's reversed, it's intolerant.
You're not moving forward.
Yeah, you're not moving forward. You're not in a good place. I don't remember all of the adjectives. I have it in my video before, but it basically is, you're not taking advantage of this opportunity, and you're not seeing it in the proper light with the proper attitude for it to benefit. So, but I love the card. I love the
new ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the new ones. And tonight is so exciting because it's August 3rd, so it's a full sturgeon moon. So tonight, while we're here camping, we'll be able to see that through the trees and share that with everyone too. Yeah. And so we've got our crystals. We're all set for a nice moon bath. Be out in nature and just really enjoy, and it's just so special that it's where you were married.
Yeah, it feels very special.
Thanks so much for coming with us camping. We're home safe and sound now. We had a great time out at the full moon, and I hope you enjoyed our discussion on the death card. We really did, and we're completely energized from our camping trip and ready to do some more videos. So like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next card.